Welcome to episode 2 of the exam preparation video series for SC-200 Microsoft Security Operations Analyst. I'm Bob Tickleman, and I'm a Microsoft Technical Trainer. This second episode out of a total of 4 episodes of the series is the episode where we're going to cover configuration protections and detections. This is a crucial area for everyone looking to become a proficient at the Microsoft security technologies. Feel free to pause the recording if you want to take a closer look at the topics I will be covering and discussing. Anomaly detection policies are designed to identify unusual activities that could indicate potential security threats. Some of the common threats you need to be able to identify are impossible travel, activity from infrequent countries, and malware. Some of these may seem familiar to you, but don't get them confused or think that they're already configured. For example, impossible travel is also in Microsoft Entra ID's conditional access policies. In Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps, there are several types of policies that you can configure to manage and secure your cloud environment. These policies help you detect risky behavior, violations, or suspicious activities, as well as appropriate remediation actions to be taken. Here are the main types of policies. You have activity policies, anomaly detection policies, app discovery policies, file policies, OAuth app policies, and session policies. These policies can be configured to meet your organization's specific security needs and help you maintain a secure cloud environment. Make sure you know how to configure them for the exam. In addition to being able to configure the policies, make sure you know how to configure the corresponding governance actions that you want to take. Can you distinguish between a policy and a rule, as well as configuring each appropriately? What scopes can policies be applied to? Can multiple policies be applied to the same scope? If so, what is the effective policy and how is it determined? Do you know the different types of policies? And what role needs to be assigned to you to be able to access the endpoint security policy page in Microsoft Defender XDR? While the steps listed here appear simple to deploy SR rules, it will be important to know the various policies that can be deployed. But more importantly, you also have to know the fine-grained controls that are managed by each policy, such as antivirus policies, real-time protection, cloud-delivered protection, exclusions, scheduled scans, and actions and detection, as well as the encryption policies, which cover encryption method, key management, startup authentication, and recovery options. And then you get the firewall rules of inbound and outbound rules, network policies, login and notification, and application rules. And then you've got encryption detection and response policies, which have behavioral monitoring, alert thresholds, automated response, and investigation tools, as well as the attack surface reduction policies, which covers rule modes, exclusions, and reporting monitoring. Oh, and don't forget the general rules about knowing the defaults. For example, there are default RBAC roles as well as specific Defender for Endpoint roles. Which ones will you use, when, and where? Defender for Cloud provides options for workloads protections that should be known about. For example, what is JIT, or just-in-time access, and how do you enable it? You should also be able to understand what happens in the background to make JIT work. Do you know the options and settings that you can define while setting it up? Do you know what the recommended and the non-recommended options are? I'll give you a hint. At the time of this recording, there are 7 recommended and 7 non-recommendations. To create custom detection rules, remember you must go to the Advanced Hunting section of the Microsoft Defender portal. You must also have a good understanding of the syntax of the Custo Query Language, or KQL, that is used to write your custom rules. You should also be familiar with the recommended practices of regular reviewing and updating your rules, leveraging the Advanced Hunting features, testing your rules in a controlled environment, monitor and tune the alerts that you have, assign the appropriate permissions to the rules, and document and share your knowledge, and then integrate with the automated responses. Deception capabilities in Microsoft Defender XDR are designed to detect and respond to advanced threats by creating and managing fake assets, such as decoy accounts, hosts, and users. These fake assets are designed and deployed within your environment to attract and identify malicious activities. I've stated this before. Make sure that you know the minimum requirements, the permissions, and possible licensing requirements to deploy a feature. If there are minimum values or maximums, times to deploy, or durations to deploy something, make sure you know what they are. Entities generally fall into two main categories: assets, which are characterized as internal objects, protected objects, or inventoried objects, and other entities, which are going to be categorized as external items, not yet in your control, or indicators of compromise. Make sure that you know how to define both strong and weak identifiers that can be used to classify your entities. Analytic rules are based on the Kusto query language, and Microsoft makes a vast array of analytic rule templates available to you, in addition to you being able to create your own. Make sure that you know at least how to read and make sense of them for the exam. Make sure that you understand the differences between the standard and near real-time, or NRT, analytic rules, as well as any prerequisites like the role assignments or values like minimum and maximum schedule times. Make sure you have a clear understanding of the differences, as well as the relationship between SIEM, or the Security Information and Event Management, and ASIM, or the Advanced Security Information Model. For example, SIEM systems are designed to collect, analyze, and correlate security event data from various sources within your organization, where ASIM, on the other hand, is a schema or model used within SIEM solutions, specifically Sentinel, to recommend and normalize and standardize security data. Make sure that you know how to configure and use ASIM to provide more accurate and consistent insight from SIEM data, making it easier for security teams to detect and respond to threats. User and Entity Behavior Analysis, or UEBA, focuses on understanding the typical behaviors of users and entities within your organization. By establishing a baseline of normal activities, UEBA leverages machine learning to identify anomalies and potential security threats based on deviations from those normal behaviors. Make sure that you're familiar with enabling UEBA, configuring data connectors, setting up analytic rules, monitoring and investigating alerts, as well as reviewing and tuning UEBA settings. So far, we've been focusing on setting up portions of your security landscape. But security is not a set and forget it. Know that for security operations centers, or SOC analysts, one of the top issues is triaging the sheer number of alerts that are triggered daily. There's a large amount of information on the active management and monitoring of the systems that you have put in place, and you need to know them for the exam. To recap this episode, we discussed how to configure portions of the Microsoft Defender security technologies, configured detection and Microsoft Defender XDR, configured detections in Microsoft Sentinel. Remember, this group accounts for 15 to 20% of the exam, so keep that in mind when preparing for the exam. Thank you for watching episode 2 on configuring protections and detections, and be sure to join me in episode 3, where we cover managing incident response.